Hey guys, it's your girl Thea, the Evolutionary Change Coach, with episode 6. This episode is about abuse, and I actually took the time to write in full depth more, just more than what I wrote on the cards, and as well as my own experiences, because is also going to be that's going to be the exercise to write out your abuse, write out any form of any memory you have of your childhood, the abuse you've endured that you have not faced. Write it down. I've been telling you guys in all the episodes, make sure you have a journal. You don't have to have one for specific things, but definitely make sure you have a notebook to write down your feelings, your emotions, your dreams, anything, memories. It does not matter even if it feels stupid, but it's something that just keeps lingering in your head on a constant. Write it down, because it means something, and you're going to learn what it means the further you go in the different topics, and the more you actually begin to actually speak and communicate and express yourself and your feelings and what you are actually experiencing, what you have actually experienced during that particular moment or that particular experience or scenario or situation that happened or transpired. As you all know, my videos are hella long because I write out everything and I like to be detailed, and I gotta get out everything that I need to get out because it helps. It really does help. So it is really important that you have a notebook. You don't have a notebook, you don't have to have one when you're watching my videos, but you should have one, because you gotta, like I said, it's different exercises, questions, and activities and things that I have actually done and that I actually am currently doing as well, to help me reflect on the healing that I have done, and to make sure that I've actually healed from certain things that I thought I healed from that I didn't necessarily heal from. It helps to really help you reflect, take the accountability, and acknowledge, and actually self-reflect on what you've done, the journey you're on, the experiences that you've had, the feelings you've had. It helps you get them all out and actually release them in a safe space where nobody can judge you for those feelings, how you felt, how you think, with any of that, because it was your experience. You're the one that experienced it. Nobody else could tell you how to feel about that experience, to be truthfully honest, and nobody could tell you how to feel about it. You're making a steak, right? Yeah. You're making a rice? Yeah, in the oven. Both of them are in the oven right now. So, but yes. All I need is 2 more. Also, I have also learned too that abuse can actually turn the victim into a bully and into an abuser as well, because you have that effect too. And a lot of times you're actually both sometimes intentionally and unintentionally being groomed into accepting abuse of any kind, because us as women, we're actually like majority of our households specifically, but really all, because I'm well-rounded. I've been around white, black, Hispanic, all that, and Unfortunately, abuse don't miss nobody. They like to, play and pretend that there's only one specific group of people that they doing it to, but it's not. So it's like we're kind of programmed to accept bare minimum and abuse, and actually a lot of times becoming a slave to the man or your partner, because in retrospect you're supposed to feed them, clothe them. Well, you don't gotta clothe them, but you know, and you gotta dress a certain way, you gotta act this way and not that way. And if they tell you otherwise, then you stepping out of line. And who wouldn't upgrade the protection, right? What? Who wouldn't upgrade the protection, right? And you actually don't. And then see, some men are actually raised to be manipulators and abusers and serial cheaters and the whole nine too, and they're actually celebrated for it. And where of course it's frowned upon for us to do it, but I'm not saying that if you do, that's your business. You don't, that's cool too. I have a bunch of stuff. Because they bring it, because they bring in the money, and it's like you ever realize? Look, I ain't, because listen, I was a single mom, and and I have 3 different baby dads. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. So yes, that is creating a broken home and a broken family. It is. However, it's different when you're not staying with people because of the children, because that can actually be more harmful than people think it is. And yeah, a lot of us never realize that abuse stems from that. And a lot of things you're going to see and realize are going to oftentimes be repeated because they are sometimes the main cause of that. If you were prone to or raised not to speak up, you're not heard, and your feelings don't matter by your parents, or constantly being, belittled or negatively put down and or shot down at any sense of anything good or positive, you are getting put down because they don't want to see you do better than. But even if I open my door, you simply didn't try or push yourself because of being negatively taught not to, or you're not good enough, or you won't be anything. This could have literally been said to you from even teachers, not just your parents. Like we've heard all the time, like a lot of our favorite rappers and stuff like that, so say that their teachers told them they wouldn't amount to nothing and all that. Those, a lot of times people don't realize that you saying those things can really give a person a complex that they'll go through their whole entire life thinking that. And or just any authority figure that abuse their title or power is mental and emotional and verbal abuse, which follows you and literally follows you through your life. Thinking anyone who gives you the slightest amount or smallest amount of love or affection leaves you open to being taken advantage of or easily manipulated, and you're going to stay in situations longer because of that. You're either scared to leave that situation because you become dependent on it, because you think that that's the best thing. Because if your parents never gave you a certain level of affection, you're going to be looking for that. You're going to always be looking for that, and you're going to always in some way, shape, or form look for their approval or other people's approval, which then turns into people pleasing and being easily taken advantage of.
Would you please me?
What you say? No. Actually. What you say? Yeah. Or yeah, then you're making or forcing yourself into groups of people who aren't even your friends, and you think they're your friends because you're literally just looking for love. You're just looking for a friend. You're just looking for, a partner, or, you're just looking for somebody to have your back, somebody to love you how you love. That's it. That's all. And sometimes people make that. It becomes harder if you're not taught that, if you're not given that, if you're not any of that. So yeah, and to groups of people who aren't even your friends, and you stuck looking stupid, struggling in jail, suffering, or without, and still left misunderstood or overlooked and alone. When you're in rooms full of people, whether you know them or not, that develops anxiety issues because you don't feel comfortable there. You don't feel comfortable around these people. You don't really trust these people. You kind of know these people really don't like you, but you're there because they show you a little bit of something, right? And then a lot of times you're actually the one that is given, and people are only there to take the benefit of you, not really you. They don't really like you. They like the benefit that you give them, not you. So when the need or the benefit of you runs out, they don't really need you either. Cause
I need you right
mm, so, but yes, anxiety. Yeah, anxiety symptoms. Anxiety symptoms are not just hyperventilating and, panic attacks and passing out or blacking out. Like, I used to like bite the skin on my lip, like lip biting, nail biting, your eyes. Like, you may have trouble um keeping eye contact with people because it makes you feel uncomfortable. Because if you, hey, yo, like constantly rubbing your leg, like if you rub your legs a lot, um, rambling while you're talking, or like you're always on high alert, like your nerves are just like always something.
Trash.
Kind.
Don't worry about it. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't.
Okay. Or you're like, or you just get uneasy, or you just feel like, where you fidget a lot, you can't sit still a lot, or you may shift from side to side a lot, and lots of, and you know what, I used to do something that I don't think that anybody around me ever noticed, that it was an anxiety, like that I was being triggered when I was doing so. Like, I actually used to like fold my knees like this, and I would actually literally hug myself like this. And sometimes I used to rub back and forth. Like, yeah. So, um, which can, yeah, like, and like I said before, like a trigger can be a smell, a word, like a memory, like a place. Like, you can maybe go to maybe like your old neighborhood or something, or a house, a car, if you know, like if your parent, one of your parents have had a specific car, like if you ever see that particular car out in anywhere, it may literally send you in shock, or you may just literally freeze. Um, yeah, like a name, like the name of a person, um, because this person or people have exhibited or did some form or level of abuse to you. Sexual and domestic abuse causes you to even, hate yourself, your body, the people that exposed you to it. Being sexually abused, assaulted, molested, and beat on creates extreme levels of anxiety. And a lot of times, such as myself, you know, you never speak about it or on it because you're embarrassed. You're ashamed, you feel guilty, feeling like it was your fault. You will even blame the friends you were around when it happened, especially if they knew the person or the people that could have intentionally put that together. You blame yourself because you knew you weren't even supposed to be where you were, you know, and you already didn't trust the people you were around as is. So why would you, it's like, because we have this, um, it's like, for majority of anybody that I've known, like, we grew up as, what stays in the house stays in the house, and you don't, the funny uncles, and oh, you just don't go near them, or you don't get, you're not supposed to be in the kitchen with that person, or oh, don't wear this or that around them, instead of removing the person that was doing it, you know. Happy now. What are you trying to say? But yeah, it's like you get angry with yourself because you ignored the signs, the flags, or you maybe didn't understand why they wanted to hurt you like that, or especially if your parents were responsible, you wind up protecting your abusers because, yeah, like I said, we were raised in the way we were raised. You're, like I said, you're taught to, you know, not talk about what's going on. So a lot of times people are literally getting beaten at home. They're literally getting molested. They're getting sexually assaulted or lusted after or whatever. You have some parents that literally sold their children to, men and all that. You have, I mean, we're seeing that right now. Like I said, in entertainment and all that, we're seeing that right now. That the majority of these parents actually sold their children to these predators and left them. So it's like, and yeah, like a result, a lot of our parents, specifically mothers, were blamed for what happened to us. Like, you have some women, like some of our mothers, that were already jealous of us or didn't really care for us for whatever reason, or was just super desperate to have men. They believed the man, or they stayed with the man and allowed that to continue, or they threw the daughter out, or whatever. And then you have some mothers that actually knew that their sons were out here doing that, But instead of them actually, holding their sons accountable for that and getting them actually put away or whatever, they actually kept that on the low, like as a family situation, or just honestly, only the mother or the father might have known. Sometimes the father didn't even know that they were really doing that, and a lot of times they did know, but they were protecting their child instead of the women or the girls that they were doing that to. And yeah, we're blamed for what happened to us. Y'all ever realize when women are abused, we are victimized each and every time, whether we speak out or not? What were you wearing or doing? Why did you wait so long? Why were you even there? Why did you do this or why did you do that? And you know, things like that. A lot of times we're tormented by our abusers, especially if they're family members, close friends, boyfriend, girlfriend, husbands, even wives, because women absolutely can and are abusers as well. Manipulation and emotional abuse, abusive. Like some women use children and the same with men, like, vice versa. They also abuse their children or use their own. Don't get mad at the game, get mad at the player. Yeah. Negatively, yeah, or use negatively down talking the other parent or vice versa. This can cause you to feel unwanted, unloved, alone, and insecure about yourself, and always viewing yourself as a failure. You know, I've had that happen to me. Okay. Okay. Yes. This can cause you to feel unwanted, unloved, alone, and insecure about yourself, and always viewing yourself as a failure, especially if you've been abused all your life. That is an extremely hard cycle to get out of and heal, and especially if you've advocated for somebody and you find out the hard way that they are in fact an abuser, sexually as well as domestically. And yeah, and the families would save them, would really protect them. So yeah, like I've really had that experience, and I felt so disgusted with myself that I went so hard for somebody and they genuinely were doing that, because I didn't know they were doing it until it was me. It became me. And then, you know, that it made me think of that person in a completely different light, because then me having a daughter is like, I automatically went to that, like, you know so I actually am a very overprotective parent to all three of my children, because not only was I actually a parent at that point in time where I actually did not like sharing my kids with anybody, let alone, their other sides of the family. But I did, because I knew that, because I am a person that honestly, I actually am going to take myself out of the equation and my own feelings, and always do what's best for them. So whatever is whatever I feel about a person, I immediately take that out. I'll literally detach, cut my own feelings completely off, and I'm only working out of a place of peace. I'm always working out of peace, and and just because it benefits the child, it benefits my children. So a lot of times I allow things to happen that I didn't want to happen, but I didn't. It's like I didn't speak up when I should have because I knew the repercussions, or because my children would lose out on this or that, and I didn't because I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. But in the long run, my children still at some point and in some way, shape, or form was had experienced levels of trauma because of that. And for that, i I then had to actually be like, no, I can't keep letting that happen. This stop. I don't want my children to continue that. I don't want to continue that further. I don't want to continue that for myself. I don't want to continue that for them. That's not what I ever wanted for them. So I definitely had to, take myself out and actually put boundaries in place, because a lot of people thought just because I was so quiet and I didn't speak up on a lot of things, that they could just run over me and it was just cool. And it was just like, no, it's not cool. It's not. And it wasn't. And it never was. But me keeping the peace because I had to be the bigger person, because at the end of the day, my children, yes, I have a mother and a father, a grandmother, all those things. But ultimately, when I made the decisions to keep my children, I already, I had in my mind, I was taking care of them on my own, or in some way, shape, or form, I was going to be doing this alone. So it didn't matter anyway whether I was with somebody or not, because things change, things happen, life happens. That is a natural thing. People, unfortunately, people die every day, and that would still leave you to have to raise them alone in some way, shape, or form. Unfortunately, so you know, I've been in a place where I allowed things to transpire because I was so like, all right, well, just because I, like I said, I am a person where if you cheat on me, I ain't never, it's like I could be cool and cordial with you, you know, and I could look at you and still be around you, but I don't want nothing to do with you in that way, shape, or form, because no, when I was a little bit young. I mean, I was young when I really had my children, but at a certain point, I also started to realize that um actually how deep this, I know how deep sexual, the sexual energies and things like that, all that, how deep that actually is and how deep it actually goes. So, like, I was, like I said, I'm not perfect by any way, shape, or form. I have a past just like everybody else do. However, I learned at a younger age that I was being naive because I wanted friends. And that actually put me in a light that I didn't want, and that was not the best of light at all. Um, you know, I was definitely sucking some dick. Okay. Um, I could laugh about that now, but back then, at the time, it was like, what the fuck? Like, after a while, it was like, why am I doing this? Like, this don't know. And I stopped doing that. Now, did I wind up like being in a promiscuous way and a little bit more sexually active? Yes, but I was not. When I'm in a relationship, I'm in it. And I've been that way ever since I was 18 years old. Now, I've had a few flings in the mix where I'm not in a relationship. So I've had some situations, but it wasn't. I'm not the type of person to just sleep with any and everybody. That's not what it is. That is definitely not what it is. And people have a misconception of that because of that. And a lot of people still look at me in that light, or they still want me to still be in that light, or they still view me in that light, or however they see fit. But I've been grew out of that. Like, I've been grew out of that. I've been in, I'll say a good 4 really somewhat long-term relationships that I thought were real relationships. I'll say that. To the point where maybe about 2016, yeah, like 2016-ish, I wasn't, no, I stopped relationships for a while. Like, I am a person that when I get out of a really toxic relationship or bad situation, I don't do toxic. I really don't. I really, really, really do not. I do not. Because yes, I have my own I have my own things going on, but I've always been an emotionally intelligent person, and